Well.
Hey, hey, hey! How you been?
I've been good, man. How you been? It's been a minute.
I'm very good, and welcome to our new subscribers, and also to actually our page is following now, and also JCM Academy is following tonight. So thank you all for joining in. You all can be part of the fun live for the first time, thanks to StreamYard's new integrations, which allow us to add guests. And when we bring people in, we can allow them to stream in, which makes it really easy and allows us to have a lot more fun. So they can easily share their information without even having to tell us, and we can broadcast right to their social networks, which is pretty cool. Kudos to StreamYard on that.
Yeah, and guess what? I'm gonna put the link right here so you
Okay.
guys can see it, and hopefully you can join us if anyone wants to hop in
If
with
you
us.
if you want to dare to join it, most of my people usually just want to stay in the chat, but you're welcome to join us if you feel like it. I know there's probably some people overseas that have been wanting to connect and out. So tonight, let's see, where did we leave off? We had so much to talk about. I mean, I think the biggest thing I want to share with you is when I was only, I don't know, maybe about one or two, I got stung with a bee. Not a big deal, but I got stung. And back then it was a big, it was like the end of the world. So why do I bring this up to you? Because one of my clients, I was doing some IT work for, and about a week or so ago, I knew we had these bees a while ago. I didn't really say much about it. And they told me if I want some honey. And I said, okay. And so all of a sudden, I am just about ready to leave. He says, oh, John, he says, we want to come and take a look at our beehive, right, HH? And I was like, maybe next time. Like, yeah, I gotta run. Like, it's a lot later than I thought. No, no, you ended early, so you actually should be able to stay. I said, oh, I did? Oh, all right. Well, he's like, you're dressed perfectly. You got a white shirt on. You got tan shorts. You're in light colors. The bees are gonna love you. They're so friendly, and you should come and visit them. I don't know about you, HH, but I was just on the fence about this. And so I said, where are they? He said, they're in our garden. So I started walking out to the backyard, very petrified. And I'm about 500 feet away from the garden, not even the hive, but 500 feet away from the garden. And I can see the hives, not just one, but like four of them. And each one has 10,000 bees. And I know.
You do not
and
want to go
and
there.
and he's like, John, you got to come a little closer. I said, closer than this? He's got to come in the garden. I said, oh, I guess I come a little closer. So I came closer to the outside of the gate. So now I'm within about 400 or 500 feet of the actual beehive. I said, I think this is close enough. He said, you're not going to see anything out there. I said, it looks really nice. I said, it looks like they're working really hard. I can see them flying around. No. You're not going to see the queen. You're not going to see anything. I said, I believe you. It's there. No. You're not going to learn anything out there. I said, I can get a book. No. You got to come and see them. All right. So I opened the gate against my better judge. He's like, there are nice bees. Just don't make any sudden moves. Don't interact. Don't swat them, and you're gonna be just fine. I'm like, okay. I open the gate to the little garden there. I close it. As soon as I do this, a few bees start coming around me. Then a few more. Then with a few minutes, there's some more swarming around me. And now there's even a lot more swarming around my legs and my arms. And I was like, oh God. He's, you got to come a little closer, John. You're not going to see. I'm seeing plenty of bees right here. No, you got to come and see the hive. You think we should ask the bees? Is it okay if I visit your home? Do you mind if I walk over there? Is that okay with you guys? Do you mind? And so he goes, yeah. He says they want you to come and see it. I said, all right. So I start walking to the hive, and I see the queen bee, and I see the worker bee and the drone bees, and I see the other bees coming in now. I said, oh, this is very interesting. It's very nice to visit you. I said, I can't stay very long. I have to go, but thank you for showing me your home, bees. He's like, no, you haven't seen anything. I said, I've seen a lot. He said, well, look at the honeycomb. I said, oh, the honeycomb is nice. You see how there's the size? I said, yeah. You see how the bees are flapping their wings really fast to make the honey from the nectar? I said, yeah. And if you look at that bee, he's starting to coat it with the beeswax that they have naturally inside them to keep it from getting, from drying out. I said, wow, that's interesting. I don't know about you, HH, but I just want to get the heck out of there. So these bees are all around me. Nothing stung me yet, and I'm trying to not make any sudden movements. I said, how do I get out of here? He says, it's really simple. He says, as you start walking away from the hive, they'll start moving away from you. As you leave the garden, they'll, within a few seconds, be totally away from you. So I said, I got to get going. So I started walking away from the beehive, few feet, 100 feet, 200 feet. And they start leaving me a little bit, but they're still around me. I leave the garden, and within about 10 or 20 seconds, they're all gone. I said, oh, thank you, God, for keeping me safe and not letting me get stung and letting me learn about bees. And I said, you know what, HH? This is a perfect story for my next article. I learned two things from that. One, the importance of being humble. And the other thing I learned was that bees are dying. And I said, I bet I could tell a story about the bee's life. That'd be pretty cool. Because I didn't really like bees that much. And that was not on my agenda to be talking about bees and how they work and everything. I said, I bet there's probably a company that has something out there with AI and saving the bees. I just thought of this.
Wait,
I went online, and sure enough, I found this company, Beeswise, in another country, selling a Beeswise home for $2,000 and just $400 a month, with AI controls to manage the environment, a robotic arm inside that could do beekeeping remotely, even harvest the honey. Instead of pesticides, they would heat the frames hot enough so that the insects would just drop off. So this is interesting. And each basically home can hold 10 hives. So that's 10,000 bees per hive. That's 100,000 bees per one of these AI homes.
Okay. John,
I'm here.
can you hear me? Yeah, yeah.
I
I think there's some static that came, I think you moved something and we had some static there. It's just, I'm not sure.
Okay, I won't move.
No, not move. It's just like, I think you hit something and then we started getting some static.
I hit
It's
the
gone.
desk, but there was nothing. Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, something. So like it stops and it comes back when you move in. I don't know if there's electronics that are getting involved in the discussion here. I guess
sure.
we don't have to worry just about bees. We have to worry about static, from a frequency business here.
Yeah, absolutely, the frequency. So the article title, in case any of you guys want to read it, this article just released the other day. I'm really proud of it. It's called Bee Life and How AI Will Protect Them. And when you look at this home and you see these bees, it doesn't look natural that all these bees are like in a computer environment. It looks like something that would give you a heart attack.
Interesting.
But they're selling this solution, and they're going after farmers that don't just have one or two homes. They want people that have like 20 homes. I'm sure they'll sell to anybody. The delivery charge is $2,000 and then $400 a month to rent your AI bee home, and they have monitoring. It even puts the honey into a jar of 100-gallon jar, and you can actually come and collect the jar whenever it's full. It'll notify you.
Okay, I'm still not clear, but AI with them.
Okay, so the AI is doing a couple things. First thing it's doing is it is basically managing their home, okay, that they're living in. And it does things like know how to control the temperature so that the temperature outside, inside, it knows how to respond to certain vermins and pests, using AI to actually manage so they don't have swarming. So swarming is really bad. And swarming happens by temperatures. So the system can sense when there's going to be a swarm, and it can regulate the temperature automatically based on AI models. Pretty cool, right?
And we wonder what would be some of the uses of AI. And you know what? Since our Chat GPT show, I have to tell you, I've been digging into it, and it's amazing the stuff that's out there with AI. I mean, I think if we're not really savvy enough about what's going on in all the AI applications right now, I think we'll be behind schedule big time. So folks out there, I would recommend to get in with the program and just definitely try to get, all the different applications out there. I mean, there's this tremendous stuff that you can use, with, and here we go. We're talking about bees and production of bees and honey
I
and
mean,
AI
did you
control.
ever think that that would even be possible? But I'm starting to realize, and the thing is, that article with being published got 350 people on it within a couple hours. I was very surprised on that.
Yeah, listen, it's a unique concept, and it piques people's interest. So and
I think the
curiosity.
whole anytime I put AI, I think it just opens people's eyes up to say, and I said, when I tell people at the store, I said I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, or should I say, the bees all out of the hive.
Uh
Um,
huh. I like that. That's a good one. I don't know
no,
if that would be
no,
a
no,
smart way, but
no pun intended there. But seriously, I learned from this. I got two things out of it. The other article's not up. It'll be up later this week. Is how to be humble in life. That's a whole other story. But because of the bees, it got me to a humbling state. And I said, gee, I got my article for the bees. I never had had an article before, HH, where one topic was immersed in the topic of the other article. Like that was just not there before. They usually are two distinct things. Now they're like married to each other. The tech is talking about humble. The humble's going to talk about the beehives in the other article. I'm like, this is weird. And
it
this
is
blog, by the way, I built from 0 users just about 3 or 4 months ago to now we have over 700 users on the blog.
sweet, sweet,
So people
nice.
like this kind of content. And unfortunately, there are a lot of bad actors using AI to do bad things. Like, for example, I was at an online networking event the other day, and they said, we're selling AI technology. For what?
Hmm.
They said, well, for just $250 a month, we can clone you. I said, excuse me?
Clone
Well,
who
we
you?
know you can't go to multiple networking functions. So for $250 a month, we can clone you one time. And if you want to go 4 times, it'd be just 250 times 4.
Hmm.
So what they want to do is they want to clone you, take some information about you. I said, I don't know if I like that. So now this AI version of me will just show up to a room and it'll make promises and people won't even know whether it's me or it's the AI version. And then they'll be able to tell by the voice a little bit. But
Well, is it gonna make decisions on your behalf too now? I mean,
yes,
well, that would suck, dude. It may just purchase a jetliner or something.
it's going to
you,
make
you'll be
decisions
stuck.
on what people should be doing. Like, let's say I want to have a one-on-one with you. Oh yeah, sure, I'll set up a one-on-one with you. So now you set up a one-on-one with me. Is it for me or is it for chat to go to that one-on-one? Like, I didn't set up a one-on-one. Oh no, that was probably your AI double. Yeah, I guess it was.
Well, I mean, listen, I can tell you, you can have an AI version of you, like literally, I can. It looks like this. I mean, you will look exactly like you.
It
There's a
does,
lot of.
but it's not going to talk exactly the same fluidity.
Well, just not yet. I mean, it's getting
Not yet.
close. It's getting there. I mean, some of these things are pretty cool. I mean, you can hardly get a difference, especially if you don't know the person. You might not even know the difference, and that's how it is. I mean, there's less, I guess, natural movement, but it's just upgrading fast enough that in no time it will be just as mimicking anyone. I mean, it's deep fake, at best, using the AI technology. That's what it is, and
But then I
so,
think it's going to come down to a point where we're going to have codes to lock in that we can't duplicate. Like, if you ever take, and I did this one time, not to try to make money, but I did it just to practice, and I learned that you don't do this. Well,
mm,
bought a Xerox machine. We leased a Xerox machine many, many years ago. 32 years was our first Xerox machine at my IT company. And one of my ingenious staff decides that he wants to make a copy of a bill, and he took like a $20 bill. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, he's like, no, he's like, I want to, he's like, I want to see if I could print a $20 bill, like double sided. I was like, oh, I said, I don't think this is going to go over very well. No, we weren't going to do anything bad with it. But do you know what happened when he took the picture of the $20 bill?
mm,
As soon as it took the picture of the $20 bill, and before it started to copy, the machine put out a code on the screen. Well, that code was a special code to call for service because they believed that somebody was attempting to make counterfeit money.
Ah,
So they
here
came
comes the
out,
Secret Service, man.
and I explained to them that, look, we weren't trying to do anything wrong. We were just testing it to see how lifelike it was. We weren't going to use it. And he goes, well, I understand. He says, it's nothing against you. He says, we're still going to write it up. But he says, now you know how it works. And you can't do that because the system has an anti system in it that prevents you from copying money. That blew my mind.
Interesting
Isn't that something?
stuff.
So this was back in probably around 1999, 1998. So AI is going to have some help, but it's going to have some hindrances. And there's a lot of people out there trying to sell doubles. You want to buy 2 for 1. Instead of buying, one guy is selling, you want to buy 2 for 1. You could get 2 for the price now of 1. Instead of getting 2, you get the second half off. So $250 for the first and $150 for the second. And about, I think it's about 10 hours of training.
Well, it's amazing. I mean, I think I posted or reposted something recently about how AI can literally take your identity and do all kind of crazy stuff if you're not quite I guess careful out there, and you need to have certain measures. And this stuff is like, I mean, imagine like viruses, right? When people send in a virus and it does different things to your computer and takes data. Well, now you have just AI that can do a lot more, good and bad at the same time, like everything else, right?
It's a tool, right? It's a tool.
Depends who's using it,
or for bad.
Exactly. And I mean, you can just possibly imagine every single scenario that can happen with AI. I mean, you got people that maybe this is not the two of us talking right now. It's just our AI version. Well, here. I mean, imagine that we could be on a cruise ship right now, and this show is going.
Yeah, this is the AI version of us right now. We're on a ship. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that could be very, very possible. I mean,
I don't think I want that. And even as my programs grow, I'm letting people know that my voice is my voice, and it's not a clone voice, because that's real. I don't want my programs. I don't want any of them to be AI, even though John, I know AI actually came out.
Prove it.
What's that?
Prove it to you.
So
that's gonna be an interesting one, right? How do I prove that it's me on this show? I mean, that's gonna be funny. I don't know.
Well,
it's an interesting question.
I think there's probably something you could ask me that the AI wouldn't know.
Well, again, that's true, but remember, it learns. So if it's learning up to date, I mean, it would not be missing things. It would be, now there will be some stuff that is not public about you. That's the only thing that can be, but then AI can come up with anything because we don't know otherwise. If it tells me that, oh, I was born on Mars, I mean, I'm an alien, whatever the case may be, we can still believe it, right? I mean, we don't know, because that's the thing. I mean, I don't know all your details. People don't know your details or my details. So if our duplicate or clone states something, they're not going to know the difference whether it's real or not. It can come back, with a nice argument, a nice proof. Just this is, by the way, we're having fun with this, but really, it's a question to be asked. I mean, what would that look like? How could you possibly, not? I mean, you tell? Can you not tell? I mean, today you might be able to tell, but in no time, I can see it being so accurate, so responsive, to the next level where it will respond to you as a word. It will tell you things, even it may be true or not true, but you're not going to know the difference, because unless you actually have some background about me in the first place, you're not going to know. So whatever it tells you, I'm a rocket scientist. You might believe it. Obviously, some people may question that. Yeah,
I think there's a way to deal with that. Either a chip or something that I'm holding in my hand, okay, it doesn't know about. And every time I get on the show, I can have a different number. But that unit doesn't know what number I'm going to be using on the show tonight.
Well, true, but again, John, here's a challenge. That's all good and dandy, but now it will learn to potentially do that exact, trick, So how do you know that it's not the AI doing the trick to prove that actually you have different numbers? Because it might be able to think the same way. I mean, it is not self-conscious, but it is gonna get there to a point where it could literally respond accordingly. I mean, you and I, we tested the current Chat GPT
Oh,
version,
I
and
had it on the show. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, but that was like limited, and it's only kind of it has certain purposes, but there's advancements now with like the visual, the create. I mean, ChatGPT can do a PowerPoint for you. It can do a
You
script for
can
you. It
go to
can,
ChatGPT and say, "Hey, ChatGPT, I want you to create me a picture of Mario making pizza with
and you would do.
meatballs on top, and I want you to put it in Italy next to the Place de la Concorde, and give it to me in a PowerPoint presentation. Oh, by the way, give it to me in a movie so that I can show animation of Mario making the pizza." Okay, sure. What format did you want it in? MP4? Do you want MOV? MP4. Great. Go ahead and check the link on the bottom. You'll see the files waiting for you.
Oh, and by the way, I tested that. It does. It will actually write a VBA code, and it will give you the whole thing, and you will be able to get a presentation from it. And there's other AI applications that I've been contemplating that can actually create a video for you with the script and all the stuff. You can have one that does a deepfake of your own face, and basically uses speech just like yours. And voila. I mean, if someone doesn't know your voice specifically, they wouldn't even know. Like they hear it for the first time, you might have an actual different accent, whatever the case may be, but that would be, whatever the AI is doing as a command there, and that's going to be a challenging,
The way I
piece.
see it is if I have a device on me, okay, and the people listening are connecting with that device, okay, and that device is only my device, and the link only I can create that authentic connection. I have like my own certificate.
So here's the thing. I'm going to show you something, folks. If you're watching right now with us, check this out. I mean, you might think these people are just
We're
hoax, and
nuts.
yeah, we're nuts. Well, we are a little bit, but that besides the point. But let me just share. I want to share something here. Hold on. Here we go. Let's see if I
Okay.
can get. Yep. And by the way, guys, this is Write a PowerPoint macro that creates a PowerPoint deck about the MVC network. And this is my code written by ChatGPT right here.
Yep.
You see that?
And it could do that as easy as building a virus. It doesn't know. There are not safeguards in the Chat GPT yet. As I said to you a while back, the head of security decided to step down. He claimed that he wanted to spend more time with his family, but that was a crock. And now it's falling on the president's hands to now deal with the implications of chat.
Well, that this is the part. I mean, by the way, I could have regenerated that same code again for a different purpose. I just have
Yep.
to give it a different command, and so I've been testing some stuff like that, and it's pretty interesting what it looks like and what it can do, and it does work in a way that is amazing. So,
But we
you
got
got.
one problem. The problem is, where is it getting that information from? This is a copyright issue, right? So if it learns, and the big problem with the chat right now is that you tell it you don't want to use certain data, it still uses that data. So that's a pretty big bug, HH, and a big problem.
Well, this version is, I think it responds to me all the time. I only have information up to 2021. Anything that happened after 2021, it doesn't know. Now there's a new version that is out. I think it's the version 4, whatever, or 3.
Yeah.
I know there's a new upgraded version here, and that be literally up to date with everything and all current events and things like that. So it's gonna be a little crazy. And by the way, we're talking couple of years this has been in effect. I mean, really, the more, I guess, shared version of AI. I mean, I'm sure governments have them, tested prior to our public use, but right now it's happening, and it's happening at a rapid rate, and it is becoming everything. I mean, you can write. There's ones that are for website. There's ones that are for videos. You can, as you said, give me a script of a movie, a script of a book, a script of whatever you want. I mean, it is amazing. And you can also, so there's a trick about it. When you paste, the stuff from ChatGPT, it actually, you can tell it's very difficult to do it. But there are different platforms that you can paste it into and then repaste it, copy and repaste somewhere else on a Word or whatever it is, and it would not be the same. So there's no more trackable stuff to it. Now the only way to track it if you put it back in ChatGPT and ask the question, "Is this you?" and then it will recognize its own, I guess, content. But again, even that, I mean, I think in college now they do that. They test. When someone provides a paper, they actually ask ChatGPT, "Did you do this?" That's a pretty interesting one, right? But it is. Listen, I am a fan of tech, and advancement, innovations, and all that, and I love this
Hmm.
stuff. I mean, it's
Hmm.
really the wave of the future. But again, we just have to be conscious how to use it. But you're right. There's gonna be someone that's gonna use it in the wrong way, and that's just a matter of time if they haven't even done
And
it yet.
as we speak right now, there was a lawsuit. I believe it's still pending. I know. I think I think it actually. It might be almost resolved between a local tutor company agency and Workday. Now, Workday is a CRM. For those of you who don't know,
Mhm.
used by a lot of companies, helping people get jobs, all kinds of different things, manage CRM. And they discovered that there is a bug in there that discriminates people by age. And they have a lawsuit that's very close, or if not already been paid out, because certain tutor workers were not getting hired.
Well, now they have that whole thing. I mean, if you apply for a job, yeah, as you know, I mean, we just launched the job market channel, and one of the things that with recruiting now, there are options where you, as a talent or as an actual applicant, you get to pick if you want to be part of the algorithm, or of the selection or pre-selection algorithm, or if you want to be waving that up, and so therefore you're not actually being considered through the actual electronic version of selection of your resume and content. So it's challenging now. I mean, how it's adapting, but I think, like for example, I we had a show with an HR expert, and we did have a discussion about, like, well, why is it now that I am in the hands of an actual algorithm that's going to pick my resume versus another? So that impacts your ability. So now you have to literally figure out a way to have enough keywords, whatever it is, on your resume, and redesign your resume to meet the new way of selection, which was not the case before. Before, you get an inbox, you got to sort it out. A human, actually sorting out things, and they looking at what they want in a particular candidate, and they select the candidates for interviews. Now you don't even make it to the top. I mean, they look it up, boom. And by the way, to be honest with you, I don't even know how good, and non-discriminatory stuff is that, because here's
Well,
the thing.
they've been a lot of them are being forced to reevaluate, and they have discriminated. They've been discriminating for a long time:
Well,
race, color, religion,
yeah, I'm
orientation.
saying,
Yeah.
it looks at your degree, it's foreigner. It looks at your age. Maybe it can just filter you down, because you're not really in that age category that they want. Whatever. How can you possibly tell? Again, these are the questions that we have to ask, and these are serious questions, because that can make a difference in somebody's life, career, whatever.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I mean, technology should be helpful,
Right.
but it is always designed by people, and that's the thing. So whatever you want it to do, you can program it to do, and that's the danger part. And these are things that can happen. I mean, I don't know if I submit a resume right now. How do I know that he's not selecting based on my name, maybe my background, my if it senses or reads something about my resume that kind of doesn't fall in the right play. I mean, it's supposed to look for the right stuff. I mean, experience wise, keywords and all the stuff. But if there's keywords that may be anti, whatever it's looking for, that may be a problem. So again, these are things that we're just questioning right now, folks. But again, everybody should ask those questions, and really, just put them on the table. I mean, they're all for grabs, and these are serious things, because how do you get into a company now? You need to know someone, or you just submit your
I
resume
think
there.
that's the way now, is needing to know someone and making that personal connection. That's what I tell people on LinkedIn. Make that personal connection, because then the resume will be personally looked at.
Well, that's where the job market, like the channel concept is that if you're a candidate, or talent, you're looking for a job, create your own reel. I mean, I'm talking about an actual presentation, 2 minutes pitch, like elevator pitch, and submit it
Yeah.
just like you would do if you're going on a movie audition. You can have your reel, and now you're actually talking about why, a little bit of experiences. By the way, if you look at my on the website for the job market channel, we actually put it. I put an AI. version of my resume. So actually, I give it my resume, and it's a guy that's talking just like me, and it's presented. Now, here's the thing, literally, if I submitted that right now, they might think it's me. It doesn't. I mean, obviously, you could tell it's an AI because I have the logo of the AI, construct. But if I took that out, and I submitted the real stuff, I mean, obviously, you want your own version that's being presented in a
Yeah,
reel
yeah,
to present. That was just a demo. I mean, but really, again, by the way, use of Chat GPT, I put in, a request of my resume in there, like, all the elements, and basically it just literally summarized it in a way it's a page and give me a 2-minute script that I put it into the actual AI version, and that created the video where it's talking. As a matter of fact, I think, if you don't mind, can I share it just to
sure,
show how
sure.
this would look with people? So, I mean, you can talk while I'll look for it. It's somewhere in here.
That's fine.
Yeah, but that is how interesting these things are these days. I mean, and you can put them together in a way. But again, if I meet with you, and we talk, and you get impressed with my little pitch, that would be a better way, for me to select. I like your speech. I like your approach. I
Your
like your
skills, your
energy. Yeah,
demeanor. Sure,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one thing to see someone in paper. I actually, when I have people interview with me, I don't care about the resume. I don't even look at the resume. I mean, we already selected you to come to the interview. What I look for is you. You're the best resume you can be by talking about yourself and sharing that information. But now with the use of AI, you can use that to your advantage in a way. So again, we've talked about some of the risk, but there's a lot of good application here. So
So I think there has to be some safeguards in place, as I was telling you, and that's kind of in the process. There's a whole new legal world being created as well.
yeah, 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 definitely. John, I'm just give me a second. I'm gonna look for this just to show the quick demo here and what it looks like, and da da da. So you can
But
share
the big
something
point
to
with
me.
AI is that we have to be careful because, there's going to be a lot of lawsuits happening with that. And these lawsuits are going to be happening because ChatGPT is stealing other people's creative content.
Hello. I'm John Doe, a highly accomplished sales and marketing executive leader with over 29 years of experience in the U.S. managed care industry and government programs. Today, I want to share why I am the ideal candidate to help take your organization to new and higher levels of growth in the Medicare industry. Throughout my career, I have consistently delivered exceptional results, driving sales growth in highly competitive markets.
So that's just what it is. I mean, ultimately, I just upload the video, so it's glitchier now on this because I'm
Yeah,
not
I
really
see that.
sharing
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but if you watch it, it's pretty flawless. I mean, it just sounds like that guy's just having a nice presentation. But now in the world of reels, this could be the next generation where you could present your value like everything else. I mean, it's like an ad for you, and that's really the best way to do it. At least you get now. There is a trick now if there is discrimination and stuff because on the resume you have very little indicators about who you are. Someone can
You're
watch
opening up
you.
Pandora's box here.
uh, True, but now again, on the flip side, this is my resume, but it's not me. You see, so if I wanted to fool someone right now, I could have fooled someone with that, did that video and say,
But now
that's
you
just
show up like, well, that's not you. Wait a minute, that wasn't you in the red. That was you.
well, I didn't say it was me. It's just a reel about me.
I
So
know, but if
so
somebody tried to do that, that would be a problem.
well, true, but here's another thing, right? I can literally deep fake this one and have my face on it too. So I
Absolutely.
mean,
Sure, 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 sure.
it's very interesting how this can be anytime now going forward. I mean, but that's like an actual resume reel that someone is presenting. Now ideally I want to be the one presenting it myself, to actually, that was just a demo to show what it would look like as a reel. But it is innovative in a way, but it's also dangerous in a way, and there's a risk. Now you have to balance it out. Which one is which? Does it work this way? Is it better the other way? And those are the questions that people have to ask. And it's got to find a way in the industry eventually. So
I think, but they've got to think about the legal issues first.
which are what about
Well,
the
the legal issues with
discrimination?
the fact that ChatGPT is still stealing information and making sure that it's not using information without proper licensing.
Hmm. I mean, remember, it is only giving you information that's like Googleized, right? You can Google anything that
Oh
that
no.
chat.
So let me explain. So if you use Chat GPT in your organization and you tell it not to use this information, like it asks you what you want to consider, there's a
Mhm.
bug in chat right now that is taking everything it sees, even if you tell it not to share it. That's a big problem,
Well, that is.
and that's why there's going to be a lot more lawsuits coming up this year, next year. People are going to be very busy. There's a whole new
Yeah.
legal court system opening up for this, probably.
We just live
For
in a
chat.
world that everybody loves to sue everybody, isn't it? Huh?
Well, now we're suing machines.
Listen, don't piss the machines off, or we have Skynet in a way, right? So let's be careful. You get upset with you get them upset, they get upset back, and then now we have they'll dump some stuff into your computer. You never know. I don't know. To be honest with you, everything is on the table. I cannot eliminate any ideology here or any possibilities because it is just too complex, and it's fast learning. It's just that's what it is.
Well, you have to realize what you're talking about. We've got safeguards in place, and there are things. So what you're talking about is not inconceivable, but not as logical because we're prepared for it, and we're allowing what it can access and what it can access. Just like in a smart home, right? Smart homes are not good; they're not bad, but if they're putting too much stuff is integrated, and let's say you get home and suddenly something goes wrong and you can't even open your blinds or put water in your shower to turn the shower on because the main processor can't control something, or suddenly you can't control your air conditioner, all because the main control system. That's a big problem, HH.
Well, it is, and that actually let's talk about that for a second because here's a good example. We're not even going to go too deep, technology here in AI. Old mechanical cars, right? The old cars that didn't have any computer chips in them, right? You
Hmm.
crank it up, it starts, it goes. It's just, it breaks down. It's very easy to fix. It's all mechanical. And with the computer chips, all it takes is one little thing that goes off, and then the car doesn't function anymore, right?
Right.
Similar here. I mean,
Even,
so
even your smart cruise control, if it's got a little bit of dust on the sensor or it's raining, suddenly I had the other day it was a little bit of rain on there, and the system just beeped out and told me that it was not available. I'm like, what happened? It was fine a minute ago. Sun was out. Kind of all of a sudden, I'm like,
I
what
had the
happened?
same problem. Yeah, I've
System
had
gave
that.
it like just beeped and it turned off. I was like, what?
Hmm. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like some dust, whatever it is, it can go crazy, and that's the thing with this. I mean, it's great stuff. I mean, we're like ages ahead of where we were back in in the last couple of decades, but it comes with a price. And here's the thing: we are getting so used to this, and it's making life so simple and easy. That what happens if we have a solar flare? I'm just, I hope that never happens, but that can create some problem for technology, right? What happens if there's an EMP? I mean, electromagnetic pulse, as they say. I mean, all these things are questions that can, I mean, it could be multiple things. Magnetic field, as we talk about now. There's all kind of discussions out there. All these things can impact the technology, and so if we are completely digital and tech, fully, I guess, subservient, then we have a problem. We need to have the analog version of everything else. We should be able to still have that balance to a degree. And if you talk to some people for the new generation, they don't see the analog version as a benefit. And uh, all it takes is a good example. We had Sandy in Jersey and New York, a
I
couple of years
remember,
back.
sure,
And by the way,
absolutely,
other storms hit different parts of the country in the states and all around the world. You have cyclones and typhoons and all these things. And when that
yeah.
happens, those areas are devastated and there's outage. There's no power. And so what happens now? You have no fridge, you have no TV, you have no Wi-Fi. There's all these things that we are taking for granted. I mean, without Wi-Fi, we can't even have a show right now, right? So, I mean, just think about that. All power, it's over. I mean, what are you going to run? Generator? Yeah, but then good luck with the gas lines, right? And if you're lucky, I mean, I remember they had odd days, even days to just get gas, and people will line up for hours to just get a couple of cans,
Well, a
right?
lot of these lines are fed by either tanks that can fill your that can literally let you run for 2 weeks. That's a lot of them are running now, or they have natural gas.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you have like a generic format, whatever, you could run
Generacs,
power.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, generics. But I mean, And by the way, that's good because it's not taking gas. It's coming from the pipes underneath, so it works. I mean, you might have solar panels that you must still be able to generate some power. I mean, some of these solutions can be there, but at the end of the day, it can still be limited. And if we are not able to compensate, should that ever happen, I mean, there are groups out there that are very into survivorship, and there's different things. I mean, about every single thing you need, to have to be prepared for, and be able to live sometimes with that technology. I mean, I can just imagine our kids and my kids. I remember when that happened, like not even like a couple of years ago, we had
Hmm.
some thunderstorm and we lost power for a few hours, and they were like devastated because they could not connect with anyone. The Wi-Fi was gone, and they were just like, "Oh my god!" And we wound up playing, board games. We went back to the basics, right? But so I mean, this discussion
And
about,
candles and flashlights.
and it's exactly what we had. We had plenty of kinds. I mean, I have a lot of camping gear, so that was not a problem. We were still fine, But it was just fine. We had batteries and stuff, but you don't have Wi-Fi. You can't run, a
Well, there's a
Wi-Fi.
solution for that now. There's a company out that you can rent your own Wi-Fi for a day, for 2 days, for 3 days, for 4 days, for a week. You rent it. They start at $800 or $1,000, and it talks to the national network, and it brings in commercial Wi-Fi for any event you have. So if you know there's an outage coming, you can just get one of these things, and you'll probably be good because it talks to the satellites and other things, and you can have commercial Wi-Fi around because those towers usually don't go down. It's usually your cable that goes out. Once you got your
Interesting.
generator, you're fine.
Oh, see, I mean, again, there you go. So there is always opportunities here. There's always stuff that we need to learn about, and here we go. It's different, and it's happening. All right. So what else, John? What else we got? We've covered quite a bit, from the bees to the AI into
Yeah,
man,
so I
we're
don't
all
know if
over
I
the map.
talked. So I've been on AI for a while, as you know. I've been doing a lot of stuff with AI with the banks and all kinds of things. And I was having a conversation with someone. We were saying, the banks really don't know what they're doing. They basically are doing this because they feel it's going to save them money, but they really don't know or how to protect the clients or anything like that. But other thing, let's think about something very pure. We all, let's say, have milk, maybe in our cereal or your coffee or tea or what have you. Well, milk comes from cows. Well, I never
Last I
realized,
checked,
HH, what's that?
I said last I checked. I mean, cows, goats. I don't know. I mean, they have different camels. I don't know. They have different milks out there. Now you have vegetarian, milk too.
No,
So
I'm
hey,
talking about the regular milk from the cow. So anyway, um, milk is a big business for these farms.
it is.
Very big business. So much that many farmers are turning to AI to milk their cows.
Okay, I guess they have those pumps that are generated by AI. They're
Well,
just
it's a
not.
lot
Yeah.
more than that. So the
Okay,
old way of doing it was the manual type of
extraction.
systems with the different cups and stuff and the hoses, and they're about $1,100-$1,200, and it was a manual process. The other way of doing it is having a parlor set up where they all pull into like this, like almost like a center table, and then they have everything all there. And then when they're done, they just leave. And it's a very quick way to get hundreds and hundreds of cows in and out. Well, the new way of doing it, if you don't want to do parlor method, is you do what they call a P. It's called a VMS.
Okay,
Now, not a virtual
VMS.
machine. You know what VMS is?
Mm-mm.
Virtual milking.
System.
No, not virtual. It's a voluntary milking system.
Voluntary, as in the cows just volunteering to give the milk
Cows
away.
volunteer. So a little bit about
Okay,
this.
cool.
See, I never realized. I mean, I didn't study this whole thing. I had an idea. So anyway, the milk is only there for about 11 months after the calf is born. So they have to make sure that the cow keeps having calves, or we lose the milk business. So you have to have herd AI management software, but it gets deeper than that. So when humans are doing the milking of the cows, well, let's just say the cows are not crazy about it, but they cooperate. Um, the AI system I thought they wouldn't like. Turns out 99% of the cows prefer the AI milking system. Why is probably what you want to ask. Well, one, it's cleaner. Okay, it gets cleaned every time a cow leaves. They automatically flush out the floor. Two, there's no hurting the cow, taking on and off the the apparatus that they need to milk the cow. They use cameras, and the camera automatically lines up, and when it has the exact angle, then it puts them on. It does a pre-treat cup. After it does the pre-treat cup, does the pre-milking, then it takes them off. Then it goes and takes the next cup, puts them on there, gets the real milk, it measures them out. And do you know if the level drops, I think it's within 8 nanometers, which is not a lot, they know that the cow is going to be in perfect time to conceive a calf within 24 hours. And that means that they've got to get that male calf in line, or they need to make the process happen manually. So very interesting. And so basically the cow approaches the VMS. The VMS system, by the way, costs about $250,000 for one. And so the cow would approach the VMS. It reads the RFID tag on the ear. If it hasn't visited more than 4 or 5 times, it grants the cow access. It automatically knows the cow from previous times, but if it was new, it automatically puts the feed at the appropriate level. The most important thing for the cow is to keep her comfortable from the moment she steps in during the milking to the time she leaves, which is very interesting to me because, never really thought about this. And you're probably saying, gee, why do the cows want to cooperate, right? Why would they cooperate with the AI, do you think?
I don't know, because they don't see it. I mean, they're not scared of it.
No. They actually see it because when the cows have to be milked, they have pressure put on their udders, and it's a little pain for them. So they cooperate because the process is very clean, it's very smooth, it's very quick, and it's actually painless as opposed to the way they would do it manually, because sometimes they would hurt the cow, not intentionally. So the cow likes the AI milking system.
I guess we're going to call it AI milk.
But yeah, and so the way it works is when the cow gets milked, it checks the milk to make sure the milk is healthy. If it's bad, it automatically diverts it to another vat, far off premise, on premise, but in a far place to keep it away from the good milk. And they keep track of the milk, the amount of milk, what's happened, udder health, all these types of things. And so they have herd management, which is all AI control, and they can keep a very profitable farm.
Well, I don't know about profitable. I mean, you went from a couple of $1,000s to like
Well, what I
$250,000.
didn't tell you, okay. So we're talking about the milking process is a very labor intensive process. Very time consuming. The cow enters the VMS. The bucket is brought up. The process starts. The scan, the pre-trip, the whole thing is done probably within maybe 2 to 5 minutes, and the cow is on its way.
That's quite a bit of cows in one day.
That's if you have one. The average farm has about 4 to 10 of these VMS systems.
And you mean to tell me that farms today, I mean, they can afford that kind of,
I'm talking about your large dairies. I'm not talking about your mom and pop farms that have 4 cows.
Yeah, I mean the ones that are a little specifically generating milk for the industry, so that's different. Yeah, or owned by the industry.
And you have to see how they're set up, because they're set up. They go to this thing. I mean, they have a whole room just for the machine, but the way they built it, the cow goes over. I mean, it's very nice, like a cafeteria. The cow pulls up to the cafeteria. They have them all around in these beautiful tile things. It's very, very pretty, very nice. And on the other side is the maintenance area, so they can maintain the machine. Pretty amazing, isn't it?
Listen, well, I mean, if this is a practical thing, so I think it's humane, it's efficient.
Yes,
it's cost effective over time. I mean, because to your point, hours
after
lost,
4 years, it pays for itself in the labor costs.
But again, that cost is probably coming back to the consumers, and that's where your price is hiked up. I mean,
well, they're not raising the price anymore for using this. Actually, this is costing them a little bit less when you factor it in, because you've got less rejects, because it's monitoring the milk consistently. The cow, how much time, if the cow is going to do 11 months, they know on the 12th months the cow's going to start starving to start weaning off. And by the end of that 12th month, the cow's not going to produce any more milk. So they know it's very important that they get that cow to have another calf pretty soon. Otherwise, they're out of business with that cow.
Well, so that takes us to a similar discussion. We're talking about tech, and we're talking about food here, and we're again it's a mashup of discussion here. But I mean, again, folks, remember this is Double Impact, where we're talking about topics, and we're winging some of the stuff. This is a free flow discussion.
And we're hopefully coming to a mall near you very soon. Hopefully.
Yes. By the way, we are looking at different malls to actually do live shows from the malls. And by the way, if you do own a mall or you manage a mall and you can find some of the entertaining stuff that we can do there. We'll be more happy to come up and set up shop and do some live feeds from there and just have fun with the public, and we can have discussions with the public, and we'll have some attraction there and fun. But anyway, so thanks for bringing that up, John. But so John, here's the thing. I mean, it is something that's bothering me. I don't know if it's bothering me to a degree where I'm sick about it, or I'm just bothering me because like I can't get it. But
okay,
this whole new lab meat, that they designing, the making,
yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, we would love to hear you folks. I mean, if you're out there and you want to talk about this, or you have some expertise about it, would like to hear about it, because I can tell you, meat is meat. I'm sorry. I mean, first of all, there are vegetarians and vegans out there, and that's different. But even that, I mean, they have fake, I guess, stuff that they manufacture in that tastes like real food, but it's not real food. I mean, it's amazing that we're getting to a point where I get the concept that we're all afraid that we're gonna run out of I guess poultry and and cows and meat and all this stuff. But for us to generate some copycat kind of food and meat, and I think that's a problem.
I think it's bad, and I think it's gonna probably get people sick. I don't think it's a good idea, because anything you got to impose chemicals or you're mixing with something. I don't know. I just don't. I'm not feeling very good about it.
Well, synthetic anything is bad. I mean, unless it's used external.
Even a synthetic diamond, a zirconia diamond, is not the same as a real diamond.
Well, listen, nothing beats real nature, right? I mean, nature is beautiful, and it only gives the beauty stuff. I mean, we can copy stuff, but we're never going to be as the. I mean, a copy is a copy. It's never going to be the original, right? And that's in everything. But having to eat something that is not, I guess, made for that purpose,
I'm not
naturally.
I'm
not neither will I. But you'll be surprised that some people out there, may entertain that. But here's the thing, guys. Nutrition. Maybe they're throwing some protein in there, like synthetic protein. Maybe they throw in some vitamins and minerals in that meat. I don't know what they would do to make it like nutrition worthy, but it is not the real thing. I mean, just I can imagine that on a grill.
It might cause my grill to blow up.
I don't know. I mean, it may be chemically induced. I have no idea, but I this is going to be definitely a topic of the future discussion, and we have to look into it more. But it is happening. Again, there's so many things that are going on that you now. By the way, I'm not against lab work when it comes to for example, saving skin grafts and things like that to help people. That's one thing. That's helping the medicinal aspect of it. But for food, I mean, it's like 3D printing a chicken. I mean. I mean, you gotta get me a fake chicken, and just cook it for me. I don't know. I mean, it sounds like it's one of those sci-fi movies, like horror sci-fi movies, not sci-fi.
Well, this
sci-fi
is like they're saying, well, we'll just build any organ we want for the body. We'll just build it. We'll just.
Well, by the way, that I can see some of that. I mean, some functions are mechanical. You can create a mechanical
device,
but
not all.
Exactly. You can create a mechanical device that actually does function, which they do
have.
No,
I'm talking about when they're creating the device or creating the organ using science. They're trying to grow it.
Well, again, if listen, biologically speaking, I mean, cells multiply, and if you can multiply them enough to actually construct in the same way as an actual tissue with the right, cells and the right everything, maybe there's some I guess, merits to
I don't
that
know. We didn't
discussion.
get a license from Mother Nature. I don't think she came down and said, "Okay, you can make a heart, you can make a brain." I don't think she said that we can do that.
Well, listen, we do have knowledge, so I do believe that we have knowledge and skills that do help us to be where we are today. I mean, listen, the only thing we haven't done yet is teleportation, which, by the way, we did. We actually teleported, minute elements, but we haven't teleported like big things yet. But that could be the
What
next
what what
phase.
what small elements did we teleport?
I think they actually did like an atom or something that was actually be able to actually move from one place to another in a teleportation kind of experiment. I was reading about that, but I mean that's like the next big thing. But we have, I mean, listen, you have holograms, you can project. I mean, literally today, if we wanted you and I to be in the same room via hologram, we can do that, right?
Yeah.
So we have advanced in a lot of areas, and I think with AI and all these things, it's going to get bigger and bigger. But I'm okay with all that because that does not affect the body, right? But ingesting fake food, or just like something that is not really naturally produced, I have a problem with that. By the way, if someone's like, "Well, who the hell cares? What would you have a problem with?" I'm not telling you guys what to do or not to do. We're just telling you what our
I
opinion
think
is
I
about
have
it.
a problem with AI when AI is going to make a decision on human life.
Well, that's actually a big thing. I think you the one who had told me
Yes.
that
Yes.
that they did the study that one of the areas that will be affected the most will be medicine because it will do exactly the same thing as doctor diagnosis,
I get that
prognosis,
it can be
everything.
used as a tool and help and diagnosis, but what I don't want is I don't want it making a decision because that's not something I think that it should be doing. I think that should be where I say the human element. Yes, we're going to do this, but I don't think it should be a totally autonomous. I think it should have, you know what I'm saying? Because there's always going to be a different condition.
Well, this is a discussion that's been in place for a long time. I mean, we've talked about robots, right? I mean, AI is robotic. I mean, in a way, right? So
But there's a
it's
difference between a robotic doing something that you guide, okay, and there's one that you don't guide.
True, but remember, a robot is the mechanical aspect, but the AI is the intelligence that connects to that mechanical aspect. So now we go back again to the concept of Skynet and all these doomsday, scenarios where you have these robots taking over, like iRobot with Will Smith, the movie. I mean, you're creating these manufactured things. And by the way, if you look at robotics today, they're super advanced. I mean, they have these a very next generation dogs, robots, and you probably seen those things. I mean, the things that do today versus what they did 20 years ago in experiments, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, these things are very advanced. Now you add the AI intelligence to them, self-defense, offense, whatever it is you want to call it, these things can be very brutal and lethal. It is happening, folks. I mean, this is not a joke. It is going to happen. It is going on right now, and whether we like it or not, we just have to understand it more. We need to be able to maneuver and work with it and be able to, I guess, coexist with all this stuff. And you're right, John. If this stuff takes over decision making, we're doomed because
Well, this
because
is
you will
why
make the wrong decision.
we're saying now, I think people are realizing this, that we need to put in these safeguards because the laws of robotics that were first created are not actually a true thing. We know them from the original creators of the movies, and they were a concept where they're going, but they're not really implemented in everyday life.
Mhm. Well,
So I think
John,
we have to make those safeguards. We have to understand them. We have to know how they work. They're even talking about using AI and being licensed in certain industries. And if it's used in a certain industry, that it needs to be reported on, very similar to the way sales tax, other things are reported on, because we need to make sure that it's not doing something that could harm other people or the world.
well, listen, I'm sure that there are powers that are working on that as we speak in terms of technology and safeguards,
Yep,
as you
yep,
said.
yep, yep,
But I'll
yep.
give you a good example. You don't have to go far. I mean, everybody's using social media.
Hmm.
Keywords and all these things are being kind of almost looked at by algorithms, by AI, and that's how they even for like we're talking about YouTube and all these things.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
The way you progress in the views and all the stuff is based on an AI function that actually created stuff. Now you can just by default it can sometimes they say I've had videos that says for example, for monetization, they say you can monetize the videos, right? And then you ask for a human review, and then it goes
It's
through.
fine.
Yeah. So what it is that the AI just detects a word, a keyword, or something, and automatically blocks that video. I've had it on TikTok. I've had it in other areas
I've had it on
where
Facebook too. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I tell you, like it's a good one. I mean, I was at a range, literally, like shooting range, and it was 4th of July. It was a bright day, and we were fun. It was just a beautiful day, and we were, doing the American thing, right? You go to the range doing your Second Amendment, whatever fun stuff, and then when I posted the video, it says it violated the community guidelines. So I actually appealed it, and they opened it up. I was like, how can you possibly say something like that? I mean, I'm not. This is not going out in the street shooting people, doing stuff. This is arranged, and there's nothing wrong with it.
I had a similar thing. I posted something for a networking event where we had guns. Like, you can't have guns in our thing. I said, well, this was skeet shooting. Well, it looked like you were trying to promote gun. No, we were talking about an event we were holding to do skeet shooting. The pigeons. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll approve that.
Yeah, I'm saying, but that's the thing, like but this is what it is. I mean, they do have keywords or things that it looks
It wasn't
for.
the keyword. It was the picture. They saw the
Oh,
picture.
well, again, it scans the, to your point, it scans pictures. There's different ways they're looking at it, but either way, I've
They
seen it
heard the
make
sound of the
mistakes.
shot, the gun. They heard the gun go off too.
Again, sound, picture, words, those are the things that look for. And if it doesn't, you can say the wrong word, and I mean, I'll give you a good example. We've all gone through that pandemic, and there were words during the pandemic, if you uttered those words, or you put them in anywhere in your text, you will be banned. Your
Yeah,
video
exactly.
doesn't make it, or it will automatically give you a disclaimer. So again, but that's just wanted to show that this stuff can happen, where this technology can literally make a decision that may not be appropriate because it doesn't understand what's really happening. I mean, right now it's on the flip
It's the
side.
context. Exactly what you're saying. The context.
Exactly. Well, here's a good one. We all are familiar with the gotcha, whatever, capture. I mean, the captcha thing. Well, gotcha, capture. The capture.
I don't use it. Okay, yeah. Okay.
But like you go to
Yeah.
places, they prove that you're not a robot. I mean, trust me, a good AI will actually bypass that too. Even they think that you can do it, but you can. But so they want to prove that you're actually a human. And sometimes even when you do that, I'm looking at the letters and they say it's not correct.
Or
Like
they
I
do the
type.
fuzzy. They do the fuzzy thing or something like that.
Yeah,
Or
yeah. So sometimes I do, like, I want to hear it. So then I can be clear. But I mean, it's all happening, and you do. It says stairs, and you're looking what you know as stairs, and or like the worst ones that I don't like is when they say bicycle, or they give you a traffic light. Now, is the traffic light with the whole pole? Is it with the others?
well, do
The
I
walks?
click the pole or the light? Like, you
Exactly.
got to
Like
click
what?
everything.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's a traffic light. I mean, is it just the lights or everything? When they say, like, bicycle, is it just the picture? I mean, with the tail light. I mean, I don't know.
The
Which one will it
whole,
be?
the whole bicycle.
Yeah, I'm
Or
telling you,
I
like,
hate the fire hydrants or the bridges. I get
oh,
the fire hydrant, like,
yeah.
oh wait, there's another one coming. There's another one. Oh, gotta get that one. Or now they have the new one. LinkedIn does this too now. Okay. Position the animal in the direction counterclockwise to the number 1.
It's got to take a minute just to figure out
Great.
what the
Now,
what the
now go ahead and
riddle me this.
position this animal in the way it would normally be outside. Great. Now change this animal to as if it could stand. You're a human.
I don't know, man. But again, so again, this is all the stuff that we have to deal with today, and we're thinking about stuff. It's happening so fast, and we just gotta, like, get closer to it, understanding more, and definitely there's got to be
That's all.
more.
It's just our embracing it, and it's being cognizant of what's out there so that we can make decisions. But we're all responsible, not just the developers. It's the whole community, manufacturers. We're all part of the accountability equation.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, John. The hour just went by.
Wow. When I just saw that, it's going to go in another hour. No. Well, listen, it has been, a privilege, pleasure to be with you guys. Hey, don't forget to check my show out on Saturday nights on the Health Network. I do a whole hour with me that I talk about some amazing things. and my brand new show just launched on KCAA Radio, going out to right around 15 million people every single Friday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Eastern in California, in the United States. So check that out. And tomorrow is my small little show that hits 25,000 people in New Jersey, Inspirations for Your Life, Drive Time Radio.
There you go. All right. Well, listen, folks, it's always been real. Again, this is raw and uncut. It's fun stuff. Please join the discussion. I mean, we're not shy. We want you to come in and participate. Let's have some fun. Again, throw in whatever, and by the way, if you're an expert in the topic, come on and let's talk about it, because we'd like to learn. And, we just want to share the information with the public and see if there is more stuff that we can help with. That's all. That's it. So we'll be talking, I guess, at the next one, right?
That'll be, I can't believe, we're saying that we're going to be on, I can't believe, HH, we're going to be on the 3rd Monday of August. And we only have one more Monday left in August. Where did this whole month go?
Where did this whole year go?
Well, I'm just going by the month, but you're right. You're right. The year did kind of, I think because COVID's ending kind of now, people are kind of getting back a little bit, but I still people wearing their masks and they're still like, trying to take a little bit. I'm like, it's kind of like over.
I got to tell you, I mean, not to panic anyone, but there is a a new strain out there, and there is some spiking of a lighter version of the pandemic.
But not where we were before, and we're just got to be careful and use common sense.
Yeah,
and don't stay around large crowds. That's all. Don't be. Even when I'm at church, we're not shaking hands anymore. We're still doing the remote. We call it the remote remote peace.
Yeah, listen, no touchy-feely business, and just be careful, because again, just your health is your wealth, as they say. Just stay healthy. That's all. All right, that's it for us.
Be well, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
We'll see you next week. Take care.
Bye.